Honkaistarrail has reached a monumental milestone with its second anniversary, and Hoyoverse has truly outdone itself with the celebratory rewards. Players have been gifted an incredible 30 free pools, a free selection between two top-tier support or sustain units, Ranmei or Luocha, as well as a brand new 50-50 rework which mitigates the frustration of losing a banner pool, making high-rarity characters more accessible than ever before for both new and veteran trailblazers to have an easier time strengthening their teams. This update continues to show why Hoyoverse truly listens to their player base, consolidating its position as the best gacha in the market. One could definitely say Hoyoverse cooked! Yet, despite all these generous rewards and improvements, the true highlight of the second anniversary was the reveal of Castorice, or more specifically, the reveal of Castorice and the Global Passive. As a highly anticipated second anniversary unit, the groundbreaking Global Passive buff has fundamentally transformed honkaistarrail for a better game than ever before. With her arrival, the game has not only addressed some of its most pressing gameplay issues, but has also set a new standard for long-term balance and player engagement. In a sense, Global Passive saved honkaistarrail. As always, if you're enjoying this content, please hit that like and subscribe button as we make honkaistarrail great again. Despite its success, honkaistarrail has faced several challenges over time, with power creep, HP inflation, and lackluster storytelling becoming increasingly problematic. As new characters were released with stronger kits, older units struggled to remain viable, frustrating longtime veterans and casuals alike. HP inflation further made this issue even worse, making enemies excessively tanky and battles overly drawn out, which often diminished the strategic depth of combat. Additionally, while the game featured beautifully crafted narratives, certain story arcs suffer from pacing issues and underwhelming stakes, leaving some players disengaged, as we have seen from the black screens, minimal camera movements, as well as a lack of cutscenes. However, with the introduction of Castorice and her global passive buff, this provided a revolutionary solution to these issues. Instead of merely introducing another overpowered generic character, Hoyoverse implemented a mechanic that fundamentally completely changed how players approach team building and combat, fostering a healthier balance across the entire game. Castorice's global passive significantly counteracts the growing power creep by making team compositions even more flexible. And this is obvious to those who truly understand honkaistarrail and miHoYo's genius game planning, unlike all of those other tourist creators. Previously underutilized units like Bailu and Japart now have a renewed purpose, as the ability to temporarily avoid defeat allows for more creative and variable team comps. This ensures that the meta doesn't revolve solely around newer, stronger units, but instead encourages strategic planning and synergy between different team members. Don't believe me? Take a look at the poor casual player base who lacks the ability to sustain properly using their free-to-play sustains from version 1, or worse, some are still using links. Or other players who have invested their time and effort into units last time, such as a E2 inhibitor Lune. Now back then, this was not a problem and these units were able to perform exceptionally well back in those days. But because of HP inflation and power creep, units like E2 inhibitor Lune is basically already a retired old uncle, with nowhere to go, no retirement house to go to, and bro does not even have a pension fund. But thankfully, by the glory of Castorice and Hoyoverse, all players will now have a much greater degree of comfort, bridging the gaps between pay-to-wins and free-to-plays, allowing the entire community to share their joy and happiness for the endgame content. Some might even say, gone are the days where your E2 deals have run out of sustain, run out of skill points, and run out of life to finally go through to the memory of chaos. Gone are the days where units get to one-shot and have the cursed hope of failing to fail in time. Gone are the days where Fu Xuan takes a 10,000 HP nuke and instantly disintegrates to Nicator's ultimates. At the end of the day, you'd never have to worry about which unit to pull or who has more value ever again, when you can simply just pull on any unit with a global passive, never fearing their usage being power creep for the remainder of honkaistarrail's career. Now, honkaistarrail's narrative stakes has also been extremely high, but the gameplay sometimes failed to reflect that tension. With Castorice's global passive, combat now carries a greater sense of urgency and strategic importance. The global passive perfectly captures the ideas of characters pushing beyond their limits, fitting seamlessly within the game's overarching themes of perseverance and fate, as the Trailblazers strive for a path better for all of the Astral Express and the entire universe. by giving players an extra chance in battle without making them feeling overpowered. This mechanic from the Global Passive enhances both storytelling and gameplay immersion. Now, key moment in fights, whether against formidable foes in the simulated universe or major story bosses in Amphoreus, it will feel much more cinematic and intense as characters struggle to hold on just a little longer before ultimately prevailing against the foes that you will face in your story. The implementation of Castorice's Global Passive has also made a tremendous impact on the community. The excitement around new team building strategies, optimized synergies between your various team members, as well as meta shifts has led to a surge in discussions among players, content creators, and theory crafters. Online forums, Reddit discussion, Twitch streams, and YouTube analysis have been buzzing with the breakdown on how to best utilize this global passive, just showing how much Hoyoverse understands the importance of keeping the player base engaged beyond just playing the game. This can be seen from your favorite StarRail creators such as Tacto and GachaSmack, who have been at the forefront and demonstrated their passion and love for Honkai StarRail ever since day one, consistently bringing refreshing perspectives and viewpoints that brings our community ever tighter as we enjoy the best gacha game in the market all together as a happy family. As expected, Hoyoverse are truly visionaries, using Global Passive to create countless opportunities for us to bask in the glory of our favorite StarRail creators. Now, speaking about visionaries, one of the defining characteristics of Hoyoverse is its abilities to manage live service games effectively, setting them apart from other industry titans. Many other gacha games right now struggle to maintain player interest after a game's launch. Just take a look at their lackluster patch updates with minimal rewards and a dwindling player base, and let's not even talk about the revenue projections. Thankfully, Hoyoverse has excelled in continuously providing fresh content, balance changes, and gameplay improvements, maintaining Honkai StarRail's dominant market share in the gacha space for decades to come with ideas such as Global Passives. The introduction of Castorice and a Global Passive exemplifies how well Hoyoverse understands pacing and long-term player retention, listening to the entire player base rather than simply releasing new characters or events without much thought. Hoyoverse ensures that every major update serves a purpose beyond just monetization. Now, this approach has earned them immense goodwill from the community as players appreciate when developers prioritize meaningful content over mere cash grabs. Now, do consider this. Why will Hoyoverse introduce a unit with a global passive if not to universally enhance every single player's account? This mechanic requires no elaborate planning, ensuring that no one is excluded from its benefits, significantly improving the experience for the casual player base as well as the veteran player base. To think otherwise would be to overlook the sheer generosity of a feature designed to aid those struggling the game's more challenging content. Some might even say you would be greedy and stupid for thinking otherwise. To show thanks for Honkai StarRail, I have already sold my house and my cat to give away an E6 Castorice for every single player that truly loves Honkai StarRail, since Castorice would be a future-proof and permanent unit investment upgrade thanks to its global passive. In conclusion, a bright future awaits Honkai StarRail as well as the entire community. The implementation of Castorice and a global passive buff is a testament to Hoyoverse's continued commitment to innovation, balance, and player enjoyment. By introducing a mechanic that enhances strategic depth, revitalizes underutilized characters, and fostering community engagement, Hoyoverse has once again proven why they remain one of the most respected developers in the gacha industry. As Honkai StarRail continues to evolve, players can undoubtedly look forward to more updates that maintain this level of excellence. With a development team that listens to feedback, values creativity, and consistently delivers high-quality content, the future of both the game and Hoyoverse as a whole looks incredibly bright. And the success of this update only reinforces what many have already known, that Hoyoverse is in a league of its own when it comes to crafting unforgettable gaming experiences, and no other gacha comes close to its achievements. Honkai StarRail has received a lot of criticism, some unjustified, but most of it unwarranted. Many are simply unfamiliar with a developer who genuinely plays and enjoys their own game and makes changes based on their philosophy rather than focusing purely on profit. This is a company that won Best Mobile Game for years, so with a developer like this, enjoying Honkai StarRail will only get easier. Hail Global Passive, hail Honkai StarRail, hail Hoyoverse. As always, if you have enjoyed this content, please hit the like and subscribe button. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next time. Peace out. This was an April Fool's joke.